The world's not perfect, but it's not that bad. If we got each other and that's all we have, I'll be your lover and I'll hold your hand. You should know I'll be there for you. When the world's not perfect, when the world's not kind, if we love each other, then we'll both be fine. I'll be your lover and I'll hold your hand. You should know I'll be there for you.
One of her fans, who's also listens to my music, was following both of us on Twitter, and she posted an interview of her talking about my music, and her fan sent it to me and was like, "Oh, did you see this?" And I was like, "I didn't. That's really cool. I've always been a fan of Alessia Carr's music." So I sent her a message on Twitter, and we just became friends, and that's how it came to be.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
And how was it to record with her?
Well, to be honest, actually, we only met after we made the song together, so we had become friends over text and like talking on the internet. And then we were trying to figure out a time where she would be in the same, we'd be in the same place, but there wasn't a time in the like near future where we were going to be together. So she recorded her verse at home and sent it to me.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, it's so great with the new internet possibilities now to make music.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have met John Mayer.
Mm-hmm.
How was that?
It was great. Yeah,
Yeah?
he's awesome. He's like really great person, and has been really supportive of me and my music, so it's just an awesome experience. Yeah, I got to go to his house, and yeah, it was really cool.
So you just met once, or do you stay?
No,
in
a few
contact?
times, and I talk to him, once every couple of weeks, a couple times, a month, and we just text back and forth, and he sends me new music, and I send him new music, and it's cool.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
cool. So maybe we see a feature over there. Is he
Maybe,
coming?
yeah, who knows?
So yeah, I've read about your concert on parking lots in Europe, and what was that all about?
Well, I didn't really have anywhere else to play, and you can play in venues and you can get a gig somewhere, but they would always say, "Oh, can you sell tickets?" And I couldn't sell tickets yet because I hadn't had any exposure, and so I decided that it would just be better for me and it would cost me less to just go play on the street for people because there was already a built-in audience, and I needed a place with a built-in audience. Sometimes you have to, if you don't get those opportunities, you have to make them for yourself.
And how did you get this motivation? I mean, isn't this hard to be all alone and just
Yeah, it
get
is.
on there and nobody knows you?
Nothing that is worth doing is easy. So if you want to be a musician and you want to do something that not a lot of people get to do, then you have to make certain sacrifices and you have to do things that maybe put you in an uncomfortable position. Because if it were easy, I think everybody would do it. It's a great job to have. I feel very fortunate. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Then 2013, you released your first EP, and then there was a big break, and
Right.
your first album arrives in 2018. What
Right.
happened?
Well, I got signed to a record label, and then that label signed me to Columbia Records, and then I got dropped by Columbia Records, and then that record label dropped me, and then I had to figure out how to get started again, and so I had a lot of music that I had made, but I didn't own the rights to, and I made an album of songs between 2013, end of 2013, and 2016. But I didn't own any of that music, so I had to start fresh, and so that's why it took me so long. Yeah.
All right. And was it? I mean, I think it was a great disappointment you suffered there, and now with the new record you put out, everything has changed. How was the recording situation for your album? I mean, did you go just to a studio in Phoenix? Or
Well, I
where
worked with a lot of different people,
Yeah.
and I wrote with some of my friends I wrote with in New York, and some of songs I wrote by myself at home, and I kind of just like, the one person that tied everything together was someone that I work with who's my good friend named Miles, and he was the one who, because before, when I was signed to Columbia, I had a team of people that I work with who made everything, and so I didn't have to worry about is this going to have a cohesive sound? And this one I had done with a bunch of different people, so Miles was the guy who tied everything together and helped me bring the whole, project to life and made it sound like it was all made in the same place, but it wasn't.
Yeah, really. So it was
Yeah.
actually a big bunch of different places where you just recorded. And was it home or studio?
A lot of it was, it just depends. Like some of it was at home, some of it was at my friend Nathan's house. Like we spent some time in the studio, but most of it was, I wasn't, I just write the songs and record my voice over an acoustic guitar, and then I send it to some people to make the beats and stuff. I'm not really a part of that process. So I hear it and I go, I like this or I don't like it. But other than that, I just love writing songs.
Who brought the music into your life? Who's responsible for that?
There's this girl that I liked, and she thought people who play guitar were cool, and so I thought if I learned how to play guitar, then she would like me. It didn't work, but I ended up really liking making music, so that's how it happened. Yeah.
If we have each other, and there's just the first 3 lines, they really caught me. It was
thanks.
a great experience to listen to that. And what's the story behind that song?
The story behind the song is just, it's about the one person in your life that you feel like you can count on, and those are 3 different individual stories that are tied together with that theme, and each story is about somebody that I knew. So one first verse is about this girl I knew who had a baby at a young age, and then the second verse is about my grandparents, and the third verse is about my sister and my parents and I.
Yeah, it's a great song.
Thank you.
She was 19, maybe on the way on the east side of the city. She was working every day, cleaning dishes in the evening. She could barely stay awake, clinging to the feeling that her love was gonna change. And across town, she'd take the bus at night to a one-bedroom apartment, and when she turned on the light, she would sit down at the table, tell herself that it's alright. Waiting on the day she hoped the baby would arrive. She'd never be alone, have someone to hold, and when nights were old, she said, the world's not perfect, but it's not that bad. If we got each other and it's all we have, I'll be your mother and I'll hold your hand. You should know I'll be there for you. And the world's not perfect, the world's not kind. If we have each other, we'll both be fine. I'll be your mother and I'll hold your hand. You should know I'll be there for you. They were 90, living at the days on the west side of the city. It's the way they got me. They had pictures on the walls of all the memories that they made. And though life is never easy, they were thinking that they stay with each other. You know, sometimes it's hard, even when you made a marriage, it would never break your heart. They didn't have the money to afford a fancy car, but they never had to travel, they could never be apart. Even at the end, their love was stronger than the day that they first met. They said, the world's not perfect, but it's not that bad. If we got each other and it's all we had, I'll be your lover and I'll hold your hand. You should know I'll be there for you. When the world's not perfect, when the world's not kind, if we have each other, then we'll both be fine. I'll be your lover and I'll hold your hand. You should know I'll be there for you. High school wasn't easy, she's the reason I survived. I know she'll never leave me, and I hate to see you cry. So open words to tell her that I'm always by her side. I'm always words to tell her that I'm always by her side. I'm always words to tell her that. Always words to tell her that. Always words to tell her that. The world's not perfect, but it's not that bad. If we got each other and that's all we have, I'll be your brother and I'll hold your hand.
And then I'm gonna go back on tour, and then I'm gonna come home and write, and then I'm gonna go back on tour.
Repeat.
Yeah.
Okay, when you get up in the morning, you're at home, all alone, you look in the mirror, what do you see, and what do you like, and what do you don't?
There's a lot of things that I don't like about myself, and there's a lot of things that I'm trying to focus more on the things that I like, because recently I've always been sometimes I'm kind of negative, and I put myself down a lot. I'm really hard on myself. Sometimes it makes me hard to be around, because I'm never good enough. So I prefer not to get into it because then it might I might spiral out of control. But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of things I would change about myself if I could.
So do you think music is a place to hide from that?
No, I think it's a place to be vulnerable and open about it and talk about the things that maybe you don't like about yourself. And I have a song that I'm writing for my next album that's about that. And I talk about some of the thoughts that I have that maybe I wish I didn't have. Mm-hmm.
Great. Is there any connection for you to Germany?
Yeah, I've been to Germany. Like, I toured here a bunch of times. This is the first place that I came when I was trying to get a record deal. I thought I was going to get signed here because they were signing a lot of singer-songwriters. So I was like, all right, I'm going to come to Germany. And they didn't want to sign me, which is probably a good call because I wasn't ready then. But I played the Reeperbahn Festival, and I played Berlin Music Week, and I played, I played in Cologne and Munich and Frankfurt and a bunch of different cities. I toured with this artist named Leah. I opened for her on her first tour. So I have and then some of my best friends live here too. One of the people that I write with most frequently, his name is Tobias Kuhn, and I work with him, and he's here like right now. So yeah, I have a lot of friends in Berlin. I love the city.
Great. Anything you want to add?
No, that's it. That's all I got. Yeah.
Alec, thank you very much for the interview.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Dope. Very cool. Thank you, man.